go to Khan's Gardens. He has the most... I'll go this way. Let's see what we have here. No harm in a little conversation.
So Bal's chosen is a doppelganger. I should not be surprised. They have ever been among his favorite servants. Orin is testing you. Either she thinks herself a predator, playing with her food, or she fears what you might do. Good. Ah. This all begins to ring a little too familiar for my liking. The last time I fought doppelgangers, the Balspawn Sarevok was using them to subvert the city government, aid his rise to power. But Orin, he's more predator than politician, I think. She simply wants to make us feel hunted, isolated. Tell the Lordling that Orin is watching. Seems that Gortash and Orin have had a little falling out. We should leverage that. Orin knows the hunt. In one stroke, she places the Harpers beyond our reach. Separates us from our pack. Until we know who the false facers are, we cannot trust anyone beyond ourselves. A shame of mine. Redoubled because I did not tell you everything sooner. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashiman?
The name is as familiar as Jahira's own. A hero of the time of troubles, who saved the city more than once.
But few know of his fate, I think. I had hoped to keep it that way. Minsk is an old friend. Perhaps my oldest. We've fought at one another's backs, times beyond counting. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die. Before we ever heard of this Absolute, we received word of a gathering in the Undercity. What we found was the first dark seed of this plot. A circle of cultists with mind flayers in their midst. We might have ended it there, cut off at the root, but before I could send for help, Minsk charged in alone. It was chaos. He was overrun, dragged down beneath a mass of tentacles. I had a choice. Stay and let word of this cult die with us, or leave him. and live to fight another day. The world takes much from those who presume to defend it. But sometimes, you get to take it back. So don't be sorry, because I mean to use you, if you're willing. Infection, indoctrination, eradication. That has been the fate of everyone the cult has captured so far. But it has not been yours. With your help, perhaps it need not be Minsk's either. I'm not asking for promises. Just the chance. Oh, the point is moot without the means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. I'll have a better idea of what that is once we're through the gates. Seems I need to reacquaint myself with this damned city.
On my way.
Yes? There might be, but... it's not a path I tread until we must. Let it wait until the city proper. Perhaps I'll have had a better idea by then. Ask it. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And, bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? I've passed enough years that counting them is a waste of what remains. Which is to say, yes, I am that old.
So much for the cavalry riding to our rescue. This is what we get for putting our faith in a network of spies, I suppose. It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire. Yes and no. The problem is, once you're a vampire spawn, they completely control you. They have to allow you to bite them. And why would they do that? Vampires are power-hungry creatures. They won't lose a servant to create a competitor. Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help.
I have heard much of the cunning and caution of the Harpers. Clearly those tales were exaggerated. Their entire network in the city has been infiltrated and undone by a handful of imposters. Little wonder the surface world is in such disarray, if they are among its protectors. Nervous? Don't be preposterous. I am on alert, as you should be too, given who hunts us. I have faced Orin before, and she left scars on me that will never heal. She will enjoy adding to them, and she can strike whenever she pleases. She could be anywhere. Could be anyone.
Despite her protestations to the contrary, it is clear that Minthara is afraid.
I doubt it. Her father is murder incarnate, and she is a devoted daughter. To please Baal, she would butcher the world. She has the scent of our blood, and she will tease and toy until she tires of the hunt. Then she will obliterate us without a second thought. We need to watch over each other, now more than ever. I do not want a devil to hold my fate in his hands any more than a god. Aren't you tired of bowing and praying before authority figures? I say we put the devil from our minds and trust in ourselves. If anyone should have the power of the crown, it should be us. Yes. I only know it through history books and hearsay. A city of murder and grief. It is already living up to the legend. From the still, dark waters of Lake Donegarten to the black academies of Tierbresh, it is a city of wonders and terror. But it is not my home anymore. If I were to return, I would be denied all of its wonders and shown only the terror. I am a daughter of Menzoberranzan's most ancient and powerful house, the Bainray. I lived a life of privilege and danger. My home was at the tallest point of Cuel Arzol, the place of the nobles, a plateau high above the city's sprawl. I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface, and I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her chest, almost puncturing her heart. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself, and I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me. I expect so. If the world were to end, I think my mother would survive to rule over the ruins. She taught me to be resilient and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted, literally and figuratively. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Life was crueler to him than death. It is no great wonder that he found his strength in Merkel. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by two novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. Recruited. You could call it that. I intended to wage war on their god and the rest of its presumptive followers. Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. In a manner of speaking, I did. The dead cough up their secrets just as well as the living. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. Despite Ketheric's best efforts, so are we. And we shall outlast the immortal general and his tower. But he had the upper hand when we first met. I was arrogant enough to believe I had the better of him. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. It is a mistake I hope never to repeat. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
Men, women, children, all barred from entry. A damn travesty. A decade ago, Baldur's Gate would have welcomed any and everyone seeking refuge. Who would take in these souls, if not the Jewel of Baldurin? As long as Gortash is in charge, they'll be left shivering at the gates. All part of the plan, of course. Step 1, create an army and order it to march on the city. Step 2, shut the gates in the name of security. Step 3, bask in the applause. Gortash hasn't made Baldur's Gate safe. He's made it a prison. And when his army breaks through, the people will have nowhere to run. To make this city a safe haven, we'll need to bathe Gortash and his allies in their own blood. I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say. Not a tragedy, a calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither. More than you know. The better question is, did he ever miss me? If he did, he missed the Will Ravengard he once knew, not the hell-touched warlock he returned to. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you've taken a Lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. All right. What else is on your mind?
We can't rely on the Harpers. Not when Orin has them infested with shapeshifters. We're on our own. Though, I suppose we're used to it by now. Of course. Honestly, my heart's racing. The end's close. My parents are close. I just know it. Thank you. I'm not sure I would have ever made it this far without you.
Fine. What's on your mind?
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
What harm? She's little, won't take up much space, or make much of a dent in our provisions.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
I'm just a cat. Please, talk to Yenna. Well, why are you so nosy? Nothing good, I don't think. She was so very sick. Maybe she made like a cat and went off to spend her last life. Yenna is my best friend. She's kind. Help her, not me. Please don't.
Shapeshifters in the Harpers. My dad always admired their mission. Said they gave up their entire lives so we could live safely and asked for nothing in return. We'll rout them, right? For the city and for Dad. Like I got something back. Something I've wanted for a really long time. When I touched you, I felt like a real person. My heart was racing, but I didn't hurt you. I don't have to be afraid of myself anymore. I don't have to hold back. Not sure the world's ready for unleashed Karlach, but it's getting it anyway. Thanks to Dammon. Thanks to you. Thanks to fate. Touch! Touch everything! Touch everyone that'll let me. Shake hands, dance a waltz, maybe even kiss a face or two if I find a good candidate. The world's my funhouse. Me too, soldier. Gods, me too. For every knock we take, I feel like I get a little treat just to keep me going. Ugh, I don't want to think about that now. Misery always overstays its welcome, and joy leaves too soon. I'll cry later, but not now.
No traps, please. Looking ahead. Can't slow down.
I fought proudly alongside Harpers once. But it seems we cannot place our trust in them now. Not while Orin has their ranks infiltrated. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well. And Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
I should speak up.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? The girl has left to hew her own path. She left behind a letter, as thou dost know. Hast thou other business?
Even the venerable Harpers are compromised by the Absolute's poison. A grim turn of events, but one we must take in our stride. I've no doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he's saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him. My orb is the best chance we have. And only I can wield it. Oh, you know me, ever the optimist. I'm trying to focus on the positives. Truth is, I was living on borrowed time already. Consuming those items would only have kept the orb sated for so long. If anything, I feel more at peace than I have in months. At least now I know my death will have purpose. It won't be a distant bang in the footnotes of history.
It's certainly good to be back at camp. How I've missed the smells. Indeed. And I'm sure Dringo will do a great job. He always took good care of me.
Keeping very well, I hope? I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. He told me we'd be together now. Said Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors that plagued my home. He's gone now. But I suppose the man I knew died when I died. The man he became, that wasn't the father I knew. The one I loved so very much. Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies for life.
Better not be cursed.
Queen Vlaakith. Skra!
You are Hasharlok, and still you speak my name.
I've seen the captive Orpheus with my own eyes. Spoken to Shestil Kithrak Voss. You lied to us. Enslaved us.
The betrayer Voss lies! I have only a moment, and you, Hasharlok, will listen. We are Githyanki. We move mountains. We snuff out stars. We shake the plains. The traitor Voss has lied to you. The heretic prince would shatter us in an instant. The great dominion shrunk to the head of a pin.
Can this be true? Is the Githyanki prince really a threat to his own people? Or simply a challenge to Vlaakith's rule?
Return to the astral prism. Slay Orpheus the Pretender. Serve me, and I will ascend you. You will be no mere warrior, nor Kithrak. You will be Barta Vlaakith, commander of dragons. My only, my chosen. A final chance. Kneel before me. Make your promise.
Lae'zel's thoughts become yours. The sight of Orpheus looms over her mind. Voss's words echo within it. She means to forever turn her back on Vlaakith.
gave you my faith, and you called me traitor. I gave you my life, and you ordered your knights to hunt me. I have witnessed too much, and you have given me too little. Finally, I can see. Orpheus will live, and I will hear his creed. This is my word.
Your word is nothing! You are nothing! The Kithraki will bring you. I will tear your flesh from your bones and devour your skull's marrow while you beg for death. I will consume you. I will unmake you.
Soldier, my engine. It hurts. I think this might be it. Soon. Things burning hotter than I knew it could. But look, we've just about made it to the city. That'll do me. Let's go protect it. Whatever happens after that is between me and the so-called gods. With this heat going, I can't spare the energy to think. I just want to enjoy whatever's left of this life of mine. Anyway, it could be worse. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, with who I'm meant to be with. How many people can say that?
It is done. There is no going back. As long as the Undying Queen reigns, I am never to soar unbound over the astral sea, never to cross the one in the void. As it should be. Better a short life built on truth than immortality woven of lies. Better to unite the Githyanki under a prince who would free their minds and honor their bodies. So why do I feel so bitter?
Vlaakith has upended Lae'zel's whole existence. Everything she knew to be true, every plan and aspiration she ever held has been painfully ripped away. Lae'zel's bitterness is born of sadness. She is mourning the loss of the person she once was, and can never be again.
Yes. From doubt rises certainty. Orpheus, the Prince of the Comet. He is living truth. Undeniable. I will have a home in Tunarath yet, and Orpheus will be the light that guides me there. I have been born anew in Gith's son, my savior. And so, from the old battle cries is birthed another. Shma Salar Orpheus, Ma Stilna Forgin in Yeri. Orpheus's will above all. May the comet blaze my path forward. Orpheus's freedom is my want and my need. To deny his freedom would be to deny my own. There will come a time when I can think about myself beyond the Lich Queen who enslaves the Githyanki and the prince who would liberate them. But that time won't come until the Prince of the Comet flies again. We take the Orphic hammer from Raphael's lair. Orpheus Tavki Nazin. The air grows ever warmer, the hum of life within it louder. It may yet hatch, though not soon by my estimation. Give it to me. Perhaps it will fare better under my care. Thank you. I know it is a mere egg. It may never hatch. If it does, it might beget a failure. But it might also beget a fighter. And I intend to give it the chance.
I didn't think I'd live to see the day when Lae'zel turned her back on Vlaakith. But all things considered, good for her. Of course. I thought you'd never ask. Well, don't stand in ceremony. Come here. Honestly, my heart's racing. The end's close. My parents are close. I just know it. Thank you. I'm not sure I would have ever made it this far without you.
So, the devil himself is pursuing the crown. As for whether it's truly the crown Carter's forged, well, I think it's safe to assume we shouldn't take anything Raphael utters at face value. We must claim the crown of Karsus for ourselves, before anyone else does.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketheric and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. It's rebelling against Orin and Gortash, fiercely. I suspected that when we took Ketheric's stone, the brain would begin to break free. Those brain quakes confirm that my suspicion was correct. I do not know what happens now when it receives their orders, and I do not dare guess.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An elder brain enslaved is one thing. An elder brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome. Trying to guard us. The brain is restless, but I am distracted, and my lack of focus is endangering us. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else. Indeed. Duke Stelmane. Or as I knew her, Belin, when she was alive. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Belin was different from my relationship with you. see that you are unable to let that go. But do not forget that I trusted you with my life, as you trusted me with yours. Manipulation or not, we need each other. My relationship with Berlin was similar in this regard, though less dramatic. In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Berlin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone. I appreciate your understanding. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach, and not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people. You would do well to be more like me. Your humanoid tendencies are becoming an encumbrance. Leave me.
I do not understand why the patriarchs of the city do not open their gates to the refugees. I was not suggesting they be allowed to roam free. They should be put to work. The city needs laborers and fodder to protect it. Yes. And if they work hard enough for long enough, the city might allow them to earn their freedom one day.
So, the devil himself is pursuing the crown. As for whether it's truly the crown Carsus forged, well, I think it's safe to assume we shouldn't take anything Raphael utters at face value. We must claim the crown of Carsus for ourselves, before anyone else does.
Did you want something? If not, I'm perfectly happy to just gaze upon you a while. Of course. Just the one? Honestly, my heart's racing. The end's close. My parents are close. I just know it. Thank you. I'm not sure I would have ever made it this far without you.
Something good here, I hope. What I wouldn't how long is gone to steal horse.
On the Gondwans and